Gentlemen, my name is Ron Sally. I'm the broker of record of Remax Millennium. I'm here joined by Jason Land, the man himself. He's the VP of Sales and Marketing at CentreCourt Developments. Jason, let's just jump right in. We're talking about their latest development, CentreCourt's latest development, 199 Church. Jason, how are you?
I'm well, Ron. Thank you for having me on. I'm very excited to talk about 199 Church with you.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into 199 Church. Why 199 Church? What are the major takeaways of this development?
There's too many. The first thing that comes to mind is its central location. Steps to everything from Ryerson, Yonge Street, the subway, the financial district, the future Ontario subway. So there's a lot of layers to it. And naturally that segues into incredible employment opportunities in the downtown core. And that is going to continue to grow and grow. And there's going to be continued demand for affordability in the downtown area.
Touching upon that, so when you have all these incredible factors that you mentioned, what does it mean from an investor standpoint or a person that owns a unit in this building? What does it mean for them?
That's a good question. It's diversification. You're in a melting pot for any and every situation. From students, that is a very stable rental community, rental pool, and you've got employment between the medical area and the hospital network. You've got faculty, administration, tech, financial district. There's just so many layers. So I think it's the diversity and sort of mitigating any risk of being overtly focused on one segment, one sector.
That's a great point. We always get points on the price and the GTA's rising price point, especially in Toronto. A lot of people, even right now.
I mean, we're hitting record highs, and condos always follow resale low rise, and low rise is on absolute fire. So that gap continues to grow, and really what it's proven is that nothing can stop this market.
Yeah, it shows a great thing about our Toronto market. And the great part is that as things are moving forward, real estate is great. The strength of the market is phenomenal, and we saw that during COVID. So let's talk a little bit about the price point, especially for 199 Church. We've been hearing a lot of great things about this incredible price point, about 50% of the building being priced under $650,000. Let's talk a little bit about that. Everyone's curious, so can you please shed something on that? Yeah.
Well, the overarching theme is affordability. Mm-hmm. And when you get the price list for 199 Church and you compare it to resale, you'll realize that we're very close. And the last time a project had that type of value, that close to resale, it's been a long time. So if we can give you a AAA location where the price point is in line with where things are actually trading at, but you also don't have to take on a mortgage for 4 years, and you've got the upside of 4 years, you're going to do a lot better than you typically would. In fact, I'm confident that you will. So, yes, it's half the product is below 650,000, which is really the sweet spot in the GTA right now. But it's the whole building and where we line up with resale, because the opportunity is definitely in the value.
And as we're gearing up for the launch this Wednesday, we're going to have a very grand and fantastic launch.
That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about the suite mix and how people can take advantage of purchasing and what the necessary steps they have to take in order to get a unit in this building, because the demand is definitely in its favor. And, we've been getting a lot of calls nonstop, and so has the market been very positive towards this development. So let's talk a little bit about the suite mix and how the building is structured, and then how they can attain one of those units in this building.
One thing we often do is we build from the inside out, and we have a huge emphasis on suite designs, efficiencies, maximizing every square foot. And, from the exterior, it's one of the nicest buildings CentreCourt has ever brought to market. So there's a lot of incredibly efficient floor plans that actually align incredibly well for Church and Dundas. And that's the best part. In terms of how you're going to get a unit, you're going to contact an agent such as yourself who has access to our product, that is an insider, someone we value, to get more information, to learn more about the opportunity, and to discuss options, because that's what this is all about, is working with a realtor, your trusted realtor, in order to make a educated decision on your future.
Beautiful. One of the major points is the close proximity to Ryerson University.
Yeah.
And during 55 Mercer's launch, we learned a lot about Ryerson University and the expansion that's happening. So can you touch a little bit about the expansion of Ryerson University and what does that mean for the surrounding investments around that pocket and area?
Ryerson is one of the best opportunities for 199 Church investors. It's a great story, and the truth is, it's even more pronounced for our location. We're within 100 meters, and you're home to 45,000 students,
Yeah.
where they've only got 1,700 beds, which means that there's 43,000 students that have to live off campus.
Yeah.
Sure, some of them live at home, but a lot of them are not from here. They're from the rural areas. They're from a different part of the country. Then you've got this international community, and there's no beds on campus, so they depend on the private sector, just like they always have. That hasn't changed. Same with U of T, same with Seneca, all the universities. So there's a huge shortage of supply. So you've got this demand and you've got the opportunity, and it's a never-ending opportunity for you, because it's the institution of universities and Ryerson itself being in such a downtown location. They're not going to spend their resources to build student housing, right? So that if you really look at it, 43,000 students, we'd have to build 89 of our buildings just to accommodate that, which is impossible. It'll never happen. So, that's just, the scale is, unprecedented. And so in that, you've got some incredible opportunity.
That's fantastic. Before we end off our interview, can you touch a little bit about CentreCourt's history of the last 10 years and some of the great buildings that they've put together and the 100% occupancy rate and that almost every building has been brought to fruition in a very timely period?
I can definitely talk about that because it's one of the most exciting parts. It's important for all of your investors, your purchasers, your end users to align themselves with a AAA 5-star developer.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of them in the city, and I'd like to think that we are one of them. We're a vertically integrated company, which means that all the key pillars in the process, they're all in-house, under one roof, and that creates a seamless, execution for us. Everyone's on the same page, which allows us to act and move so quickly, as we're kind of known for.
Yeah.
We've been in business for 10 years. We've developed, we've brought to market 14 buildings worth over 7,200 suites. With 199 Church, that's 15. That's about 1.5 buildings a year, which is more active than pretty much anyone in the market. And as you mentioned, we don't have a single day in interim occupancy, which means you go straight to final closing. There's no phantom rent. You're able to pay down the mortgage right away with the tenant or yourself. But what I've learned recently is that by the end of this year, there are 9 buildings that we will have completed.
Wow.
The average timeline it's taken us from start of construction to completion on average is 2.7 years, which is 32 months.
Wow.
The average in the downtown core is closer to 4.5, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's not by luck. That's obsessive, determination, just always wanting to execute. And the team here is really incredible. So you could have bought 2 CentreCourt products in the same timeline that you would have waited for one.
Yeah.
And you would have been able to roll your money over and over again. But again, it just comes down to execution, getting to construction, completing the product, doing the best of our ability, and trying to be better than the market standard and create a new standard. And I think that's very important for all of your buyers.
Beautiful. I couldn't agree more. Leading up to Wednesday's launch, we've been hearing that this is going to be one of the grandest launches in the pre-construction industry. Can you touch a little bit light on it? And of course, all our viewers, all our database, all our clients, past clients, so on and so forth. We're going to be sharing this special link for this grand preview. So can you touch a little bit on this so that way people can understand what exactly is happening on Wednesday?
It's going to be the first of its kind, and it's going to be the biggest, biggest launch we've ever had in our history in the GTA. I don't want to say too much. It's going to be a hybrid environment. It'll be a completely new experience. I myself, along with the president of the company, Shemez Barani, will be hosting and presenting to all of you, sharing everything there is to know about the project as well as the company, and it's setting yourself in a position where you can make a educated decision, on your future. But it's going to be the experience. It's going to be the spectacle, and I'm really excited because I think it's going to be one of those dominoes that set everything up for the rest of the summer going into the fall, because there's just so much excitement, so much anticipation, and we're happy to be the first one.
I can't wait. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our interview with Jason Lamb, VP of Sales and Marketing at CentreCourt Developments. So, 199 Church is launching. I'm going to include the link in this description. Please register there. You'll receive the floor plans and the price list when it does launch and when it gets released. And then you know who to contact. Jason, thank you very much for joining us, and talk to you soon.